Thanks for joining us on another episode of The Grind. Here's your host, JB.
Hey, welcome back. I know it's been a minute since we've been in front of the camera and the mic. But I will tell you, it hasn't been because we're not still working to promote what it is we do with App State Wrestling. If you followed us on some of the social medias recently, you've seen that we've got our first class of ambassadors recently committed to the grind. And as people probably know, one of the goals, one of the purpose of what I do here is to promote App State Wrestling and support the student athletes. And you'd have to be living in a closet if you didn't know what was going on in college athletics world today with the NILs, the name, image, and likeness agreements and ability with student athletes today. I knew as soon as I heard that it was a thing and now student athletes were able to take advantage of it, I knew that we needed to get behind it as soon as we could. And obviously over the past couple of weeks, probably going on a month now or month and a half, as long as it's taken us to get to this point, that's exactly what we set out to accomplish. I'll be very honest with you. There's not a lot of guidance out there with it. It's almost that the NCAA has gone from probably the most strict issues to completely hands off. So it's been an interesting journey because first and foremost, obviously, we don't want to do anything that may cause some issues. But it doesn't seem that there's a lot of guidance around it right now. So I knew it was important to do what we could for our student athletes and definitely want to make that available for these guys. And, talking to John Mark and the staff and some of the athletics guys, I think we've got a good process in place. And I will tell you, we've got some great guys in this first class of ambassadors for the grind. And we'll chat through it in just a few minutes with a few of them. It seems like there's some internet issues in Boone this evening that have caused a couple of them to have some issues with connections. But I think we've got a few of them still hanging out in the green room, and we'll bring them in to chat with them. But just real quick overview of it. You can be involved in directly supporting the ambassadors, literally directly supporting the ambassadors. Go to our Patreon group, and you'll see that there's been some additions and some edits to the Patreon group and the levels. Your membership in the Patreon will do just that. It will help support our ambassadors here at The Grind. In return, the value drive and the value proposition is you're going to get some pretty cool content from these guys. I try to communicate to them that, fans are fans and fans are fanatics, right? Like if you go to Varsity Gym on a duel in Varsity Gym, that place is wild, and it's wild because people really enjoy App State Wrestling and the student athletes and the talents that they have. So we have a Facebook group called The Grind Wrestling Room that these guys, I think all of them that are on Facebook are a part of it. They'll be in there posting content and kind of an inside look and, just in their life of what they're doing outside of what you guys see on the wrestling mat on duels and Varsity Gym. So I think that's a good start and kind of where we will go with it initially. There's obviously some other ideas that we've thrown around amongst the group, and we hope to develop the value proposition a little bit more as we continue to grow. But I'll be honest with you, just like I was with them, I've never been a part of anything like this, right? Like I've never engaged student athletes in a name, image, and likeness agreement. I know obviously we support them and we are very appreciative of their talent as student athletes, but outside of that, it's all new to me. I think we can provide some great content. I know they can provide some great content, and I would fully expect that. And I will tell you, they're 100% appreciative of whatever it is that we can do for them. So if you want to be involved, join the Patreon group. As you'll see in the message in there, it's going to go to directly supporting these guys and continue to be and perform as student athletes here in Boone. Without them, App State Wrestling wouldn't be where it is. So let's go chat with them for a few minutes and kind of get their take on it, talk about the NIL deal. I think we've got a few more on here, and I can add them as we're chatting with the ones that did make it. But I think we've got Cody, we've got Will, and we got John right now. Welcome back to the grind, gentlemen. I think you've all been a part of this once before anyways.
Yes, sir. Good to be back. Good to be back.
And I think we've got Cody and, or not Cody, but Caleb and Sean in the wings as well. I'll try to get those guys on here as we're having conversation with these three. So the first class of the Grind Ambassadors, what's it feel like? Like, was this the, we're going to Disney move or what?
Yeah. I mean, it's really exciting. It's just, once you really dig deeper into it, it's just kind of hard to digest and really understand, the process of how to do it because nobody's done it before.
Yeah, I mean, we're completely been honest with you guys and transparent. It's like this is, we've got an idea of what we want to do and supporting you guys and what you do and everything that's going on in the NIL deals. And I've, like I told you guys, I apologize that you're the first, but somebody's got to be, right? Like if we don't get started in this now, it's just going to be further that we get away from having real viable, NIL deals, right? Like make value of it. So, I'm excited. The talent is unreal. I appreciate what it is that you guys are doing. And, from the start of what we've done here at the Grind, it's kind of from the ground up homegrown, right? Like we've got to start somewhere.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's the opportunity of this is not just for ourselves, but for the future of people coming in is to try to build it up. And like John said, it's kind of uncharted waters, but I think it's a really cool opportunity for the future of App State as well as us. So anything that we can get done to help get out to the fans and let them get a backstage look at what we do and how we do it is an awesome opportunity.
Yeah, and you guys are kind of the groundbreaking class, right? Like, where do we start? What do we do? What engages the fans? What gets them to want to support and be a part of what it is that we're trying to do with the ambassador program? So it's fun and it's exciting. It's kind of the entrepreneurial spirit, right? Like, let's start something together. And to be honest with you, that's what I'm looking forward to the most with you guys. I want to do what we can do to support you guys and the student athletes, but how we can collaborate and come up with ideas and how we do this together, to me, is the most exciting aspect of it.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's a big part too, fan input, what do the fans want to see? If you guys join the Facebook group, you put in there, hey, we want to see this, or maybe like we do a technique and you want to see, a breakdown of it. That's something that I think that we definitely can do. And, that's just going to drive it even further is have that fan input and output and just interacting with them will make life easier for us as far as brainstorming and then, it help with the process.
Yeah, I think that the skill set is second to none, right? Like you're not going to have insight into a group of guys in Division I wrestling that have this skill and the success any other place. Like this is especially for kids that are up and coming and have the goal and the drive to one day be competing on the same mats across the country. For sure, you're not going to have any better insight and any better platform to be able to say, hey, I'm interested, I want to improve. What do I need to do? How do I drill to improve this? What is it that you guys do? That insight, I mean, we haven't even tapped what that can do right? But that's got to be phenomenal for young kids. Like if I was a young kid and that's where my goal was at, sign me up.
Exactly. You know, and then some kids too, like if you got questions on how to be a nerd, you can just ask Will. You know, that'll help you out.
Whatever you do.
Hey, and it looks like we do have Caleb and Sean. They're down there on the screen together, sharing the internet access. Looks like you gentlemen found a viable access point that's pretty reliable now.
We're trying.
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't sound like you guys are the only ones that are struggling with internet tonight. It sounds like Will's on his hotspot off of his phone, and I know in the beginning John had a little bit of difficulty finding that solid access point. So maybe we need to put together some sort of effort to try to get some better internet access up there for you guys.
Get some Ethernet cables.
Ethernet cables, yes.
He breaks up.
Yeah. So the life of a D1 student athlete, and we've talked about this a little bit, right? Like it probably sounds cheesy to you guys to post some of the stuff that fans would find interesting in your personal social medias, but that the Wrestling Room group might be the place to post it, right? Because people don't realize, and I say this as somebody that's in contact with you and John Mark and a lot of the staff throughout the year, it never stops. Like there's really not, there's an off season for conference duels, but there's not really a true off season for college wrestlers.
Nope. Just freestyle.
Yeah, just freestyle season. And I say that looking at Caleb, that if anybody doesn't know, and Caleb, you can fill me in on this because I know you had some success out in Nevada and you're continuing to drive on with that success, but you're competing again in a couple of weeks on a very large stage.
Yeah, so in a couple of weeks I have the World Team Trials. It's going to be in Iowa. Since I've been back, I've been training, being consistent, lifting a little bit, trying to just tune up, fine-tune a little bit, get ready for that competition.
Yeah, and that's stuff that people don't see, right? Because there's not much coverage because it's not, I guess I'm appropriate or right in saying that it's not a sanctioned activity through App State University or App State Wrestling. This is just something that you're doing on your own. You're paying your own ride, your own travel, all your own expenses. So all of this training continues for these guys, and we really don't get much insight into it because it's not put out through athletics. But I think this is a great platform to cover what it is that you guys do and technically your off season from, SoCon competition.
Yep. So, freestyle season a little bit different too, and that's something that if I was in high school, I would definitely want to ask a question because when I got to college, I didn't know anything about, post season for college wrestlers and freestyle season and how it worked. So like once the season ended, I was kind of like blindsided by like, oh, what are we doing now? It's like freestyle because I've never done it before. So it was kind of new. I think that's pretty interesting for people that, high school kids that are fans and they want to transition to college wrestling. I think that's really important for them to know and help them out.
Uh-oh. Someone's dog is upset. Whose dog was that? Raise your hand. Was that John? John's dog sounds just like him when he gets upset. That's awesome. Yeah, so that's a great question that I haven't asked everybody, but John just mentioned it there. Did you guys the rest of you had any experience with freestyle prior to college? Will, did you have experience with freestyle prior to college?
No, I did not. I knew about freestyle and I always thought about training it. I did a little bit in high school, like just kind of messing around, but it wasn't a big deal for me. Georgia wasn't really big on the freestyle scene. Some states are a lot more into it with Fargo tournament in the summer and stuff like that, but Georgia was kind of behind on that. I think they're starting to turn it around, but I was the same way with John. I came in and was like, okay, season's over. What are we doing now? Just still training folk style? And all of a sudden they just throw you to the wolves right off the bat. They're like, nope, freestyle, go ahead. shake hands, go at it, and you're like, okay.
Nice.
You learn quick because it sounds pretty unforgiving.
Yeah, trial by fire then, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cody, how about yourself? Do you have any experience with freestyle before you got to Boone?
Oh God, no. I wrestled like one time in middle school, and I got thrown on my head, and I was like, yeah, I don't think this is it for me. I'd rather just go to the beach in the summer.
Yeah, it is very, even as a spectator and a fan of wrestling, it's very different even from the spectator's seat. So I can't imagine what it's like to be thrown into that as a competitor.
Yeah,
Caleb.
I hung it really quick.
So that was all you needed then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Caleb, how about yourself? Did you have any experience in freestyle prior to coming to Boone?
I had a little bit, I guess more than these guys. I went to Fargo, I think it was my junior year, or maybe going into my junior year, one of the two. And I had like 2 tournaments before that, but I wish I had more. Either way, I'd still take Will having experience or not, so it doesn't really matter.
That ain't saying much.
Caleb is delusional.
Sean, how about yourself? Did you have any freestyle experience before you got to Boone?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it seems to be a common theme amongst the. It's kind of funny that how that works, and as John said, that's some great insight. Is talking to guys that's kind of had that transition from folk style completely now to training a little bit of both. Yeah, I look forward to watching you compete further, Caleb. It was fun watching you out there in Nevada for sure. So what's the other summer plans for the rest of the guys? Let's start out with John. John, what do you have on the schedule this summer? What can we expect? I know you've told me a little bit about some of the camps that you're involved in, but what's your summer shaping up to be?
Yeah, it's gonna be try to get a lot of camps for the weekend. Then we'll have our baby mid-June, so that's coming up pretty soon. And then outside of that, it's just working and wrestling. And then we got U23s as well, which I think we're all going to be going to. Just a lot of guys are going to U23s. So just getting ready for that tournament. Then after that, some camps, and then, having a girl. So.
Nice. And then you guys have the App State summer camps, wrestling camps thrown in there as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a lot of time.
Sounds like it. Cody, let's go with you next. What's your summer shaping up to be?
Yeah, mine's going to look the exact same as John. John's just without having a kid.
Yeah, that's John's got his plate full. I will tell you right now, that's going to be fun this coming up season in Varsity Gym with the Milner family for sure.
That's right. No sleep for John.
I will tell you right now, those referees are going to have their hands full with the Milner corner.
Oh yeah, Casey, I'll hurt him.
Yes.
If she can make it off the bleachers with the kids.
Yes, sir. She certainly lets them know. I can promise you that. Hey, Will, what's your summer shaping up to be?
Pretty much same thing. Just working out. Going to start summer classes, and then it's going to be App State camps. I'd love to run some camps back in Georgia. I've been talking with my high school coach, and maybe another one at my old club, but it's pretty much going to be, just school wrestling camps, and that's about it. And then U23s, like John said, we're all going to be going to that. That's kind of our NCAA tournament for freestyle. It's a big deal. It's what we train for. It's what we kind of put ahead of ourselves every time. So that's going to be really big and an awesome opportunity.
Nice. Looking forward to that. Caleb, how about your summer? Your summer's already been packed full, man. Like you came right out of NCAAs and jumped right into the pan right away.
Yeah, the plan is to keep it going, make the world team, be gone the rest of the summer, and then go win a world title. But other than that, same thing as guys, just grinding every day, running camps, summer classes, and just figuring out how I can set myself up for success next year.
Nice. Sean, how about yourself?
So, same thing. Preparing for U23s as this first step, and then after that, would be camps, and then just training.
Nice. Keeping the grind going then.
Yeah, having U23s kind of in the middle of the summer is it's kind of good because you got something to kind of train towards. Training in the summer can be difficult, without having motivation. So
Yeah.
luckily for Caleb, he's got the U.S. Open, the World Team, and then U23. So he's constantly training for something. But just keeping that motivation throughout the summer when you don't have as many classes and just nice stuff to do outside. So
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, if you do host any camps or anything like that, make sure you let me know. Happy to get you back on here and talk about your camps. Happy to help you promote it in any way that we can here. But certainly keep us in mind if you guys end up hosting camps or even being a part of camps as clinicians. So let me know. Happy to help you promote it and happy to get you on here to talk about it and help spread the word as much as we can, because well-deserved in helping you guys promote it in any sort of way that we can.
appreciate it.
Sure, thank you.
All right, guys. Been a good conversation to break off the ambassadors. We'll be back again. Maybe we'll do this as a forum. Maybe once a month we'll check in and update people and kind of go from there. But if you want to be in the loop, join the Patreon. You'll be accepted right away into the Facebook group where I think the majority of these guys are. And there might be one or two that either don't have a Facebook page or don't admit to having a Facebook page. But there'll be some content in there for sure. And don't be surprised if one of them takes over one of the grind social medias, especially Caleb. Maybe we can get him to take over the Instagram or something like that as he continues to travel. So appreciate you guys. We'll definitely check in with you again, possibly next month at some point. But anybody interested in supporting these young men and their efforts, go join the Patreon group. I'll post all of the links in our social medias again here tonight. And you can help support what it is that these guys are continuing to grind even through their summer. There's John. John must be getting upset again. Hey, gentlemen, definitely appreciate you guys' time tonight. Look forward to catching up with you. Keep doing what it is you're doing, and be safe, and be sure to check where you're parking. All right, guys. Good chatting with you tonight, and we'll be in touch for sure. We'll see you in the grind on the Facebook group.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Darren. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, I will tell you guys, from day one, this is kind of where it's at, right? Helping young men like this, supporting young men like this. Again, part of the first class, a tough one. It's all a learning experience for us, but I think a good start for us to get started with. If you're interested in supporting these young men and what it is that we're doing here with the Ambassador Program in the grind, go join the Patreon group. There are several layers to that, several levels. We'll get into that more at a different time and talk about what it is that you get with each one. But certainly go check it out. You can see it there on the website and help support these guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and appreciate your support for anybody considering joining and anybody already a member of that group. Till next time, go Apps.
This has been a production by Yosef Media.